Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy Viewers. This is Grand Arena final match of Week 2, Season 37. Last round the win streak was broken, but we are still solidly in Kyber 2. We got plenty of room to work with, but I do want to finish this week off at least 2-1, but this is going to be a really tough match. Very similar kind of defense as my opponent had last round, which we could not full clear. Details will be in the last video, but for a quick look, you can see I was ultimately stopped by JMK. He had, I think, 5 GLs on defense. Actually, let's double check that right now, because we can compare it to today's opponent. So JMK, Jabba, Lord Vader, Rey, so 4 in that territory, plus Starkiller, and then up above he had just the 4. Okay, so there was 4 on defense, but he had Starkiller, Melgus, Grand Inquisitor as well. My defense did give me some help, surprisingly, because his banner total is pretty high. Up front here, I think, was 1 shot. I'm not even going to look at it. No, down below was 1 shot. So front territory, we will look at it. Okay, Melgus getting a hold. And then up top here, Boss getting a hold with a Datacron. With the bracket and my opponent, your Sharkbait, he has nearly 1,000,000 GP more than me. Actually, he does. Zetas are, I'm just out of habit saying that. It's irrelevant. Omicrons were tied. GLs, he's got 7. This was a bracket of a lot of 7s. Last week, also Kyber 2 bracket, we had a lot more 5s and 6s. That made it a little bit easier. Gear 11 depth is solid. Relics, you can see he's at 129, which is right in the middle for this bracket, and I am obviously very low at 82. 6-dot mods, he has a ton, and they're good ones. But his counts are a little low considering how many 6-dot mods that he does have. I have a slight edge in the top 25, and he has a slight edge in the top 500. With the Datacrons, he does participate. He does have 6 level 9 Datacrons, but the other counts are somewhat low, but more than enough for what his roster is going to have. The relic distribution we'll look at in the hotbot information. Here's a brief look at his GLs, but he has all of them. But I do have speed advantages on JMK and JML, not that it matters, and Jabba, mine's a little slow. I'm still working on getting his mods better. With the Omicron portion here, he's got 3 on Melgus, he's got the Raddus one. So for him to have this density of Omicrons already at the top, it means there's going to be some that I have that he doesn't, and you can see that here with Savage, but he does have Traya. He has 2 on Aphra, 1 on Swolo. I'm actually a little interested. What do I have? He must not have Raider and things like that. And then there is Zoria Grand Arena Omicron. I've already forgotten what hers is. I guess I'll double check. Riva, it looks like, is on here. And with these additional characters, he's got a Relic 4 Darth Revan. Everything else looks fine. And his profundity here is at 7 stars. With the hotbot information, he is in a 60 million GP larger guild. His undersizes and clears are lower, so his participation might be questionable. I didn't look at it too much in detail. The relic distribution here, though, is in his favor. He's got more relic 8s, way more relic 7s, like nearly double. So this is going to be a much harder matchup, but he does have some spread out throughout. We've gone up against far more top-heavy rosters, so we might have a little bit more of a chance depending on how he plays it. With the key characters here, we'll just go through this quickly. You can see where his mods and speeds are. We're going to jump into looking at his speed in detail on his roster. With the closer look, it's like Pi Unicorns is his guild, and organizing by speed. His Aphra was at 303, his Fallen's at 300, his Dash is at 296 or so. So he's got 29 characters above that 300 speed threshold. You can see a few here like Hermit Yoda, Bosch, Grief. They're falling below Resistance Hero. Some of these characters could be up above there. And is a little slower Starkiller, but he's still pretty excellently modded. Most of the characters who really matter are where they need to be. We're really at a point where there's there's fewer roster advantages that I can build in, and in order for me to punch up, I need to outsmart my opponents. I need to out-prepare and out-study the game. Now, looking at the territory he's cleared since he attacked first, we got one hold here out of Newt, which is a little bit of a surprise, but he probably underestimated it. The other territories he has not attacked yet, but we'll just show you the teams. But we've already previously looked at these. Again, the things to notice here, the Sana team is just for show. The Datacron doesn't actually work, but I hope my opponent wastes a good team up against it. We'll click on a Datacron or two, because this one got a hold last match, and see what was applied to it. And you know what? Because this Grievous team has done it before too. This is the Datacron with that inflicts blind. On the back wall, we have the Chupio Datacron, which is not activated because we don't have him at Relic 7. I will next week, though, because these are the kind of advantages I need to be taking advantage of when they're not too far off. Like the Sana one's a little far off where I don't really want to do. I don't want to add additional relics to 3 mediocre characters to take advantage of that relic when it's a temporary addition, a temporary improvement. Whereas Chupio is an excellent character in his own right, so I don't really feel like it's a wasted Datacron. Now here is what we got to deal, or wasted relic levels for to activate that Datacron. Now the GLs here, we can already tell there's at least 3, there's more. So we got Finn, Dr. Aphra with the Datacron, JML, Rey, Qui-Gon, and then down below, we're looking at Lord Vader, Starkiller, Grand Inquisitor with the Datacron, Jabba, Mon Mothma. So like Mon Mothma is like the easiest team. And the rest is a bit of a nightmare. So we have 1, 2 here. There was what, 2 up above? So this is another 4 GL defense, unless there was one I'm forgetting. There's technically a way through this, but again, just like last round where I really hammered the point of why I need to have a Fennec counter, same deal. Like I think I could clear this if I had the Fennec counter, but I don't, and I don't think I can clear the Lord Vader part. And the big issue is that Dr. Aphra team with that Datacron. Really the only counter that I can use up against it is JMK. And if I use my JMK up against Dr. Aphra, how am I going to clear Lord Vader? Because my Fennec I can't rely on. We're still going to do it. We're going to attempt it. But what I'm really going to be showing with that is why it is my roster's biggest shortcoming right now, and something I'm going to fix by next week. Because really for me to compete in Kyber 2, that's something I need to have in my roster so that because I have to rely on these non-GL counters when I am at this much of a GL deficit. And we have things like, so here's the plan. We'll see if it works out. We can do a ton of things up against Mon Mothma. We could do the Tusken thing. This might be a good team to show if there's an upper ceiling to the Tuskens, because the last time I beat the Mon Mothma, it was a Gear 12 Cara Dune. So we might show that with the extra relics on Qira that the Tuskens are no longer enough and they'll be taken out by those AoE abilities. Jabba is really where I need to use my Dr. Aphra. Traya, Grand Inquisitor. We're going to try to Wampa Starkiller, because otherwise we might have to JMK it, or we might have to look at a JML situation. And then Lord Vader, this is really a Fennec or a JMK situation. Up above, what we can do here is we could also consider Tuskens up against Finn. We can Grand Inquisitor the JML because it's not a Bastila lead. Starkiller the Rey. And then we are looking at like a 5th brother Qui-Gon Jinn counter. But then Dr. Aphra, I really have no answer for. Because the best teams for beating it right now are JMK or Han Solo with like a dash lead, which is not an option because he's on defense. That's why I want to start doing that. What I was talking about in the last video is we're going to start on Twitch. Not all the time, but a couple days a week, we'll do a Grand Arena prep where I'll go on, I'll look at my opponent's history and plan through that. Just as my schedule allows. If I have a video I need to work on, we're probably not going to do it. But something just like 30 minutes, something quick, maybe we'll throw in some roster views, things like that. Because what I would have done had I done that prep work is I would have seen the Aphra was there and I would have taken Dash and Han off of defense, save them for offense in order to handle this. And then we'd be in a much better position than we are right now. So we're going to give it my best shot following the plan, at least the plan that I would hope and like to work under the circumstances that we had a proper Fennec counter. Because I do want to get to the back wall, because there's Tusken footage I would like to get for a video I'm working on, and I want a trooper squad because I have no footage up against troopers with the Tuskens, and I'm hoping there's one on the back wall. I'm hoping there's an Iden back there. The Grand Arena history I didn't look at, so I'm not sure. And we'll do the best that we can do. And this is my priority, this area down here. So if it doesn't work out, we'll use JMK up against Lord Vader, and we're not clearing the top. Unless there's a way to multi-hit Dr. Aphra that I'm not thinking about. But we are going to do Fennec differently. Anyway, we'll get into that. This has been a much faster opening. This is how I want my openings to the video to be. I would like to be attacking before 15 minutes, really just after the 10-minute mark. Let's start with Traya, Grand Inquisitor. And then I'm going to get done with this, finish that video, and get to watching that Last of Us finale. That is not what I was trying to click on. Considering how rare it is to have Jedi on defense, it's good that the Grand Inquisitor being on defense is a good idea, because they can still be a pain, and this Traya counter is really the best option. But this is a pretty strong counter. I haven't lost with it yet. Hopefully this isn't the first time. Alright, let's take out Grand Inquisitor, and we've won. Get a little protection back. There's a lot of things going on here. There's the debuff synergy where we're getting stronger. The damage over times that they apply are going to help trigger the Annihilate and Held by Hatred from Nihilus and Scion. The debuffs aren't going to stick. There's just a lot that makes this a powerful counter, and why at Gear 12 it is still great. And why the Traya Omicron, I still can't believe people don't have it applied. Especially at the Kyber 2 level, where if you're still in Kyber 2, it means you care about Grand Arena. Like Kyber 3, I think it's still a situation where there are less obsessive accounts that are performing well. You know what? Let's throw that on 7th Sister. All right. Let's move on. You know what? Actually, there's something that we need to consider. No, it's not going to make a difference. I was just wondering if we take Dr. Aphra up against Lord Vader instead of Jabba, but then the only Jabba counter is JMK at that point, which doesn't help us because we were going to... Really, I just need Fennec to work up against Lord Vader. Let's see if Wampa Starkiller works, then we'll do Fennec. This doesn't work in 5v5, but in 3v3 it works sometimes. I want to put on... I like to give that to Starkiller. Let's see. This one's not terrible, but what I've been wondering about... Do I want to give him turn meter? Defense and protection. I think I'm going to try this. Last time we did this Datacron, because he uses his basic a lot, we'll get those extra stats, but I don't really think that does too much. This turn meter might really help though, so this is what we're going to go with. Unfortunately, he only has stats with this Datacron because the level 3 and level 6 abilities don't apply. So there's just a little extra tenacity, armor, like that. They're good stats though. And it didn't matter. This is what I'm afraid of. Yeah, we're going to lose. We're going to lose. No. We need to be faster. We won with it last round, but I think that's more because of that opponent didn't have as good of mods. I mean, he actually had excellent mods, but on these specific characters. Okay, because now JMK is really my only counter for that. That's why I wanted to know these things. Let's do Fennec. I'm going to try and improve my Wampa mods for next week, though. Because I really want Wampa to be able to counter Starkiller consistently. It's just, it's like a 40% win rate. It's not great. All right. We are going to change it. So this is what I did last time. Zam for the extra stats, which keeps everyone alive. It actually makes a pretty big difference. It's better in 5v5, though. The issue is this basically ends once Fracture gets applied, and I can't really do anything for a while. The reason I don't do Mando is because he's Gear 12 and going to die. But this is really the better counter. There's another option with Beskar Mando, but he's on defense. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to give this Mando version a shot, but it's probably more going to show why I don't use it. But it'll be great if it does. And by next week, we are going to have relics on Mando. Grief Karga, probably not, because I don't really have that many resources, as we're still reaccumulating them. But Mando is going to be pretty critical. I need to have this counter. If it didn't have Thrawn, it would be much easier for me. But normally we don't lose grief. If we lose grief, you're going to understand why. Okay, we're not dead yet. Okay, see right there. Right there. Okay. That's contract. We're going to basic. We don't really need this, but I need him to not die. So I'm going to heal. Blue stack's being weird. I wish I could see it. If I could take out Thrawn right now, but we'll take out Royal Guard. We'll take out Thrawn. Maybe I will win. Maybe I should have been trusting my Mando more. Maybe that was my fault. Let's call her for an assist. Heal. Not terrible. Goodbye, Mando. Alright. I apologize. I think I should have shown more faith towards my Gear 12 characters, because that worked out way better than I thought. Yeah, that's my bad. All right, maybe we still have, maybe we're still alive. No, we're not. No, I don't, because I can't get through Starkiller without JMK. I don't. No, maybe we can try a JML thing. It's the preloaded turn meter now, though. That's going to be an issue. All right, we're going to deal with these other things. Maybe I've got a way forward. We need scoundrels. Aphra, BT, Triple O. Aphra. You know, that working for me up against Lord Vader is actually really bad. Because now I'm thinking about, maybe I don't need to relic my Mando. And so maybe we just go with it. I just wish I would have trusted him sooner. I will add some gear to it, but I don't think I'm going to go to the Qira. Alright. Oscars are going on today. I am not paying attention. I used to really care. But it's something that I think there's a lot of things going on which I think hurt the Oscars and the movie industry in general. Like, there's this whole thing that's going on where they keep trying to increase the pricing of movies because fewer and fewer people are going, so they're trying to make as much money as they can from the people who do go. But all that does is make tickets more expensive. It's the whole thing between like the 3D goggles and the vibrating seats and all that nonsense. But all that does is it got us out of the habit of seeing movies. Like, I used to check every week what movies were coming out. I used to watch trailers all the time. I knew everything, every movie that was coming out. It was something I paid a lot of attention to, put a lot of effort in. But I eventually just got out of the habit. Because the problem with expensive movie tickets is you now no longer want to go see a bad movie. The movie has to be good or a spectacle in order for it to be worth it. I need to be paying attention. We're going to time out. This is really not the match to be having a rant on. We will continue it, though, at a point where I feel confident. Okay. Where are we at, guys? Okay. Yeah, so regular watchers have heard me make this rant before. This isn't a new thing for me, but it's topical today, so I wanted to bring it up again. It's just, like, I used to go watch a lot of bad movies. I didn't care. I'd love to go see a movie. But now, at the price point of $20, it better be a good movie. I'm not going to go see a bad movie for $20. I still watch a lot of bad movies. I've been talking about Liam Neeson movies in recent videos. I love a bad movie. I'm not going to pay $20 for a bad movie, though. Because that stuff adds up. And I don't know how families exist. Like, I was a family of 2 brothers and me, my dad. So we're talking like 4 people going to movies. My mom wasn't going to go to see these movies. So like 4 of us going to a movie. That's $100 for... No, that would have been for 5. It's $80 plus you'll get up to the $100 with the popcorn and everything else. It's absurd to expect people to pay for that. It used to be when you're talking about $6, $7, even $10 movies. That's more realistic. That's more manageable. And then they're like, why is the movie industry not doing as well? It doesn't financially make any sense to do this on a regular basis. You go only now for the Star Wars movies or the Marvel movies if you do it, and I haven't really been doing it lately. I really want another way through Palpatine. I don't want to use JMK because JMK is going to be for Aphra if I can do it. We're definitely going to continue this topic. I'm just going to focus for a moment. Because there's a number of directions I want to go. All right, I want that. I think I want that tenacity one. Yeah, this might not be the way to go. Maybe this level. We have. No. We're going to do this. I'm not in love with it. But Yoda's going to be throwing around enough tenacity up that extra protection might be helpful. But it's really, it depends on where cooldowns are and where that turn meter is. This could not go well. See, that's not great. We'll do this. Who do I want to take out first? Should I mark or heal? He's going to counter. I want to get Yoda out of stealth. Now we'll do the buffs. This might be a mistake, but we're going to try and take out Palpatine first. Because he's going to feed so many stacks of Unleashed. Okay. We'll feed more turn meter to Yoda. We'll do this. Okay. More buffs, more protection up. Feeling pretty good now. We might be able to full clear. If I full clear this, I'm going to be so happy. But if I full clear this, what it's really going to say is how much I messed up the last match by not bringing in Mando into my Fennec squad. I'm becoming more and more emboldened that I'm not going to relic Mando for next week. It was on the to-do list, and now it's nearly off. What did I click on? Okay. Mon Mothma here. It would be great to have Wampa right now. We have options. I don't want to use Tusken because I'm hoping for an Iden on the back wall. Gas would be an option, but I'm not going to use Gas because I'm hoping to use him, or I just in case I need him up against. There's a Melgus, right? Or was there not a Melgus? I no longer remember. There was a Ray that I could use Gas to clean up. Alright. Malik with something? I really hate that Tuskens might be my best option. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go off the board. And we are going to Vader. And we're going to Sith it up with Talon and Malik. But Wampa is what I would like to be using. Let's see here. No, not that. I think I do want the turn meter though. But the tank revive it's not nothing. I just don't know if it's as important as the turn meter. I'm going to go with the turn meter. Although, who's going to get it? Talon? Talon's going to get it? Moment of truth. Alright, we're going for it. Yeah, give me an ability block. Oh, come on. Well, Vader will get it, because he has guaranteed on Jedi. We'll throw a Shaak on Cara Dune. I mean, they're going to dispel in a minute anyway. But the dots will keep coming back. Don't. No, no, no. No, 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 no. I mean, we get a revive, but still. Would you taunt? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fine. That. A little of this. A little of this. Alright, good. Talon was pretty huge there. Malik did a whole lot of nothing. Alright, give me some trooper. Amelgus? Give me... Yes, Iden. That's a scary-looking Iden. Okay. This is not going to work, but this is what I wanted. This is what it's all about. I kind of wish we had a worse Iden squad. Because I'm not feeling super confident here, but this is what I want to see. This is what I wanted for my video. Good luck, guys. How bad is it? Okay. Get that protection up. Why are you being slow? Oh, terrible. Okay. No shot. No shot. My blue stacks has been weird today. You know what? Let's just get out of here. Maybe not. Let's... I'm still going to use the footage. We will leave... See, the thing is, what we're really seeing is that without Warrior, there's... you know what? I should attack Dark Trooper right now. Maybe we can get rid of Dark Trooper and give myself a cleanup scenario. It's these AoEs though. That's fine. I don't care about that. Okay. Yeah, we might play this out. All right. Come on. I think this is a thing for higher gear. Maybe more stars. If Tusken Warrior was around, it would be a different situation. But Iden's about to get stronger and stronger. And they're going to get faster and faster, where our opportunities to get around this taunt are going to be fewer and fewer. And there's too much recovery. Ooh, that was close. Yeah, we're gonna quit this. Like, we can't lose. Because, I mean, there is technically a way to lose. They do have AoEs that could take out both Tuskens at the same time. But it's unlikely. Yeah, alright, we're gonna go. Enough. We got what I wanted, but just by looking at that squad, I did not like our chances. Okay. We're not gonna full clear, because now I'm thinking about it. How am I gonna get through that Raddus? Alright, let's go up above. Plenty of things we can still have fun with. Let's start with Aphra, where we get to do a JMK scenario. And what do we want? Not that. There's a decent amount of tenacity, right? Tenacity up. I think this is going to be more useful, but we just don't apply that many debuffs. Let's just do the tenacity up. Okay. Do your job, cat. We're going to take BT out first, because BT is the real damage dealer, and at this point it doesn't really matter. Even though the chances of me full clearing this guy at this point are very low, I'm still going to do better than everyone else who has gone up against him so far. That's something. Alright. Let's Grand Inquisitor this. Which I think is the first time we're doing this in 3v3 because of how rare it is to see a JML. Oh wait, no, there's the Bastila ones, but it did not work at all up against Bastila. Lead. I can't believe I could have been trusting my Mando this whole time. I forget if General Luke's immune to ability block or not. Let's find out. Okay. Yeah, he's got no turn meter, so let's throw torture on him. I don't like how this is going so far. Come on. Okay. Let's... Feels like a waste to throw torture on her right now. I'm gonna... Okay. Fine. Torture on Luke. You want it? Take it. I'm gonna save it, even though I want more purge over on Bastila. Okay, she's gone. Perfect. Okay, no turn meter. We'll do torture again. Equalize. Get a couple hits. And now he's down. Yes. But that's right there is why you've been seeing a lot more Bastila leads again, because it stops Grand Inquisitor from doing that. Okay. Oh yeah, Starkiller. I just had to remember what I wanted to do. I'm going to go on a project of Relic 8 soon. Starkiller being one that I want. Okay. I'm going to basic. I want debuffs. Just call those assists. Let's throw some stagger. Let's hit the stagger. I do not like where we're at. We haven't triggered any damage immunities yet. Really, I need this to take her out. I hate being in this situation. Because I don't think it's going to work right now. I'm not going to do it. Because I haven't triggered damage immunity on either of them. That's... Are you kidding me? Yeah, this is what I'm a little afraid of. I probably should have done it. Not that we can hurt anybody right now. Let's get some debuffs on everybody at least. Get offense up for myself. Okay, finally. Come on. Okay, there we go. Damage menu come off soon, and then I will do my Star Destroyer. Oh man, I should really do it right now. We're gonna do it. See, this is what I hate. This is gonna be bad. Nope. All right, that was bad. All right, we can't win now. Because the issue is Melgus. We'll clear this territory, but we're going to have to gas her now. There's nothing else that can beat her. Which means we got nothing we can throw up against Melgus. Because Traya's already gone. I mean, I guess technically we could still win, but we can't full clear. Hold off. Thing is, he's going to heal up and we're going to have to go through that damage immunity nonsense again. Plus, this doesn't work in this doesn't really work in. I shouldn't have done this because this doesn't really work in 3v3. This is much more of a 5v5 counter. I should have just thrown this up against Melgus. I'm irritated. Yeah, it's just, we can't win it. Oof. Yeah, we'll clear what we can, but that cements that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we get protection up. I get damage immunity. Oh, take him out. Yes. Okay. This worked great this time. Last match, this did not work out. But there was one thing I did a little bit differently, which was I wanted to wait until we took out Anakin, and I think that was a fatal mistake last time. Because it just was an extra turn in which he could get closer to his second AoE ability. Finn here. I don't know, we can. There's things we could do. All right, let's. We're gonna bad batch these guys. This worked last time. Hopefully it works this time too. The relics are much better on this Iden though. I think we were dealing with the Gear 11 Dark Trooper the last time we faced this. Okay. We will swap with Echo. Not the person I want you to attack. Oh, don't do it. Oh, this is the thing about these Gear 11 bad badges. This is a high risk thing up against a squad with this many relics. Come on. We're so close. I need Echo to stun again. But this is going to hurt Echo bad. I mean, Tech. Okay, it's over. Yeah. Alright. We can win it now. We can at least clear it, but not what I was hoping for. But it's why I was more apprehensive about it. Really, it's probably time for me to take them up to Gear 12. At least a couple of them. I need to see what... It's just Kairos, man. Kairos. Alright. Let's figure this out. We could Savage, Solo, Grievous, Bam. And we got Jedi Knight Luke that can go up against somebody. Savage could clean up Iden, no problem at this point. You know what? I'm going to do a team I don't usually do here, which is Shaak T. I guess we're taking this one. Okay. I want to take out Quill first, but that might be a mistake. I wonder if I should be going after Bam. Man, these stuns. Come on. Okay. Okay. Alright. Alright. We don't have to worry about the stun anymore. It's pretty great. Okay. Awesome. Worked great. Is this where I want to do it? This is kind of boring. But with what we've got left, this is my best option. I'm just gonna auto. Alright, back to movie rants. So here's the thing about the Oscars is they've done a number of things that that I think are mistakes. Like one thing, like expanding the number of movies for Best Picture is ridiculous because there's not as many good movies as there was in the past. It's a ridiculous thing to do. It's just to increase revenues because Best Picture nominees get watched more often. So by naming more movies as a nominee, you get more people to watch the movies. Fine, I get it. But it waters it down. What you want, what I think there needs to be is just this element of prestige that maybe it's because I'm older, but I also just feel like it's getting watered down a lot. Because one thing that was always complained about when I was younger that I never understood was like all those movie montages that they would do during the Oscars that I really liked. Like I learned about a lot of movies watching. So I always wanted to know where those clips were coming from. It was exciting to see a movie I recognized or liked have one of those clips. And it was just something that a lot of people complained about. And I just always disagreed with that impulse. I was always a fan of it. All right, what do I want to clean this up with? My heart is calling out Hondo. I'd like to see it. It's not the first time we've needed to clean up an Iden So seeing if this works would be interesting to me. I mean, there's all these talks about like making the and I've ranted about this before too. I think it's been a while though. Making the Oscars more appealable to the mass audience, which again I think is a mistake. I want it to be a serious thing. I don't want Marvel movies nominated for these awards. Like, good for, unless it absolutely deserves it. Like, sometimes, of course, there are comic book movies that deserve that kind of recognition. Most of them don't. It should be earned. And I'd like a lot of these. I don't want to reward bad work. I don't want Marvel to think that they can do movies like they've been doing throughout Phase 4 and be rewarded for it. These movies are not all that good. They're fun. They're fine. They're not bad movies. They're all like 6s, 6 and 7s out of 10s. But you should go back into what I want the Oscars to do is to stop getting it wrong. I want them to recognize the movies that matter for that year. I don't want to go back and see Jeffrey Rush won for Shine. I don't want to go back and see Shakespeare in Love beat Saving Private Ryan. You should be able to look at that and see what movies mattered that year. And they should be trying to reward the movies that are going to be still watched in 10 years. Not the ones that we all forget about, or the dime a dozen stuff, or the Oscar bait stuff that is just like super cringy, and you wonder like, how did these movies win? Like, there's just tons of them. Where am I? Where am I? So Raddus, I want to see if we can get through. You know what we're going to do? I don't think this is going to work. We're going to do JTR. Because I want to see if JTR Swolo works. JTR with BB-8 and R2 has a like 74% win rate. But it's going up the Cassian version, not this K2SO version. I want to see. Because if this works, that's going to be pretty huge for me. Yeah, I think we definitely want this, the percent health. I don't think I have any smuggler allies left. I need one of those resistance ones, so at least JTR and R2 benefit. Resistance and potency, tenacity. Let's do this. More stats. Alright, so we go to JTR, Dispel. We're going to focus down on Raddus, I think. So we are going to hit him with an ability block. We're going to flame up everybody. I think this taunt's going to be a problem. Not for Swolo. Maybe if I had the Omicron on Swolo, but we're not doing the damage we need to do. Maybe I should just focus on K2SO and just take him out, but JTR could bring him back. We're going to lose R2. That's not good. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. Nope. Okay. Yeah, we're not gonna do anything more up against that. Yeah, we're not even gonna mess with them anymore because nothing left on my roster can beat it. We're just without enough counters. We'll put the Ami on Swolo because we'll finally remember for once. And see if that changes the math on Raddus. I would like to continue testing that because I really would like more Raddus counters. Now JTR would have crushed this, but now she's gone. Probably do Jedi Knight Luke, I guess, because that's a real team, a real character. Yeah. Trying to get a wide base of these level 3 Datacrons because I don't think there's a clear winner yet for... all these level 3 abilities, I think, are very context specific. Each one of them could be good depending on which character you're applying them to. This health damage one's probably best overall, but there's not like clear winners like there was with the last Datacron set where it was the turn meter one or the tank revive one. Really? Yeah, but the finances of movies just don't work like they used to. Where we don't get the same kinds of like adult dramas that there was a ton of in the 90s because they don't make money in the theaters. The ones that go to streaming, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, but there's just like I don't know, I feel like maybe I'd like to see some numbers on just like the amount of movies put out now because there's both like I definitely feel like the thing is you couldn't study this by looking at user ratings because user ratings are awful, but I do feel like the average rating of a movie has gone way down because there's just all these movies being made by accountants and it's movies by committee where it's just they're really generic now. They're really boring. We're done. There's nothing else we can beat. Let me show you what I have left. Let me move my head out of the way. This is what we got. We got a Piet. We got a little bit of droids. We have some random bounty hunter stragglers. And that's about it. Nothing great. Next week we'll be able to try out Cal Kestis, see if that adds to what we can do. This guy's roster and defense was a bit much for what I can handle, and we're just missing... We need more options for this level of Kyber 2. Because if this is what it's going to be like moving forward, what this week was like versus last week we were fine. This week was tough. We could have played it a little bit more efficiently, like not doing the Wampa thing, which would give us Wampa to the back wall, which would have allowed us to Wampa Iden right away instead of taking multiple teams up against Iden. It really wouldn't have changed, though, the Rey Raddus situation. Though the one thing I did, though, taking gas up against Rey was foolish. That's not a thing. That's a 5v5 thing. It's not a 3v3 thing. I should have just done up against Melgus. Maybe we would have cleared the bottom territory. We still wouldn't have, but it would have been closer. But there's things will improve on my roster, strengthen up some characters. So hopefully we get a few more options. But this kind of defense, just like the last round, this is going to be tough moving forward. But here's something that I want to show is the banner counts that my opponents have gotten. Or this is my opponent, how his other opponents have done up against him. This guy here got 622 banners. This is all from last week. 65 banners. He lost to round 3 guy because he didn't really participate. But that opponent got 679 up against him. We go to the previous Grand Arena. We're looking at 535. Someone winning at 328. Like you can see he's losing because he's not participating. One person in the last round of 3v3 full cleared him. And here's the final banner total, 879. Not great. Would definitely have preferred to get a little bit further. But maybe he doesn't participate and it's a win anyway. But these default wins I don't take a lot of enjoyment out of. I'll just appreciate the crystals. But we'll check back in and see how he does.